again, one of these areas where people start to panic. We always hear that there's different kinds of Hajj, that you make different intentions, that you enter Ihram, then you exit Ihram, or you stay in Ihram, or you do Umrah, you don't do Umrah. And of course, this can be confusing for a lot of people. So can you kind of give us the details of these different options?
Well, since you already warned the viewers that most people panic whenever they hear the different kinds of Hajj and the different forms of Ihram and so on, I would like to assure you at first that it is indeed very, very simple. You just need to educate yourself, and this is a part of the preparation before Hajj, about the journey, what you need to do and so on. Simply, you make up your mind. Are you planning to perform Hajj only, or perform Hajj and Umrah? These are two kinds. In the second kind, if you're planning to perform Hajj and Umrah, sometimes you perform the Umrah during the months of Hajj, then take a break by exiting the state of Ihram, and wait until the 8th day of the month of Dhul Hijjah, then make a new intention for the performance of Hajj. But there is another kind of performing Hajj and Umrah together. If you're planning to do them together without taking a break in between, you perform the Umrah during the month of Hajj, and you keep your Ihram on, and you remain in a state of Ihram all the way until you've completely finished the rites of Umrah and Hajj. The first kind, which is just performing Hajj, I wouldn't recommend it for any person, especially for those who are coming from long distances. You came all the way to perform Hajj. So why don't you enjoy making both Al-Hajj wal-Umrah? Since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated, وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجَّ وَالْعُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ, and complete both Al-Hajj wal-Umrah sincerely to Allah. So we should seize the opportunity if we're going anyway and do both Al-Hajj wal-Umrah. Some people, local people who only perform Hajj because it's convenient for them to perform Umrah anytime during the year, in this case, they do not owe any Hajj. As we'll get to learn about Hajj, a person who's performing Hajj and Umrah is required by the conclusion of his Hajj to offer a sacrifice, which is known as Al-Hajj, to slaughter a sheep in Mecca. This Hajj is not mandatory nor required if a person is performing only Hajj. But if a person is performing Hajj and Umrah, whether Qiran, both of them together without taking a break, or Tamattu', making the Umrah first, then once you're done with the rites of the Umrah, you undo your Ihram, you exit the state of Ihram, and you enjoy your time till the 8th day of the month of Dhul Hijjah, where you make a new intention of performing Hajj. That too would require you, by the conclusion of your Hajj, to offer a sacrifice which is known as Al-Hajj.
Sheikh, with that, we're going to take a short break. When we get back, I want to talk a little bit more about these various terms, because once again, the Arabic terms can sometimes confuse us, those of us who are not Arab speakers. So please stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a minute. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum assalam.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Hajj Step by Step. Sheikh, before the break we were talking about the different kinds of Hajj and Umrah. There's Ifrad, which is Hajj alone, Qiran, which is Hajj and Umrah combined together, and then Tamattu, which is Hajj and Umrah separated with entering Ihram for both. Could you just tell us a little bit more about what these terms actually mean in Arabic, why they're called in this way, and also what's the best one to perform?
Well, actually, each word refers exactly to the practice of that kind of ihram or practice, hajj or umrah. So when we say ifrad, means singling out the journey with hajj. That's al-ifrad, which I said that I would recommend for people who are coming from long distances to enjoy making both al-hajj or al-umrah and to seize this wonderful opportunity, which might come only once per life. Al-Qiran, like when we say the contract of marriage is Aqd al-Qiran. We merge and we combine two things together. And this is when a person makes an intention of performing Umrah during the months of Hajj, Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, and the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Then finish his Umrah and remain still in the same condition and state of Ihram without exiting Ihram, without undoing Ihram nor taking the Ihram clothes off until he would complete also the rites of Hajj. On the opposite of that, if a person is making tamattu, and tamattu is an Arabic word which means enjoyment, and it refers to the meaning of that kind of practice, where a person performs Umrah during the month of Hajj. Then once he's done with the Umrah, he or she would right away shave or trim their hair, and they would exit the state of Ihram. And it will be permissible for them to do anything that was restricted during the Ihram until the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, and there they would make a new talbiyah, a new intention to commence on the practice of Hajj. Very important notice here, what do people say and how to make an intention for each one of them. If a person is making Hajj only, he would say, لبيك اللهم حجة. Oh Allah, here I come to you to perform Hajj. If a person is performing Al-Qiran, Al-Hajj wal-Umrah together, would say, لبيك اللهم عمرة وحجة. Here I come to you, O Allah, to perform Umrah and Hajj. If a person is performing Hajj al-Tamattu, making Umrah, then exiting Ihram, then assuming a new intention for Hajj. So prior to making the Umrah, at the time of making an intention to commence on Umrah, would say, لبيك اللهم عمرة, or لبيك اللهم عمرة متمتعا بها إلى الحج. Here I come to you, O Allah, to perform Umrah, then enjoy the break till the performance of Hajj. This is the only act of worship where the believer is asked to pronounce his intention. Every act of worship, whether it's salah, fasting, giving charity, a person would keep the intention for himself, between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But because of the talbiyah, a person would pronounce out loud, لبيك اللهم لبيك, لبيك بحج, or لبيك بعمرة وحجة, or لبيك بعمرة till the Hajj.